Hi, welcome back to another episode with the Empath Sisters. I'm Bev,
I'm Shelley.
and we thought we would just hop on and kind of connect with all of you and just have a catch up. It's been a long time, I guess is what it feels like is a long time. Shelley and I have taken a good break over the summer. We've both been really busy. It
Yes.
feels like, I don't know, I've been calling it a wild ride. So I don't know if maybe Shelley would call it the same. I'm not sure, but um, so yeah, we needed a break. So it was really good that we had a break and we were able to do a lot of the things that we needed to get done in our
Mhm.
personal lives. And so here we are. So we're so
Yes.
excited to be back and to be connecting with all of you. And we'd love to share with you all the kind of things that we've been doing and what we've been up
Yeah.
to. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I can't believe how I don't even know. Like it feels like it went so fast though, too. Like this whole time
I know,
that we took this
right?
break. And like I've been
Totally.
I know you've been busy, but I have been busy, but like in like you said, personal life. Like I've
Yeah.
traveled a lot in the last
Hmm.
whatever 3 months. Like in those 3 months, I gained a new grandchild. She was born on Canada Day. Like what? Like
Yes.
it was just amazing.
She's so cute.
She
Like
is,
spitting
yeah.
image of your daughter.
Yeah.
Like
And it's so funny
spitting
because
image.
Dallas is like, I think I birthed myself. Like it
Yeah,
legit looks
literally
just
she did.
like
And
her.
when I see her, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like Dallas all over again being born. It takes me back to that time when she was born, you know? It's
Yeah.
amazing. She's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
She
So yeah,
is.
congratulations.
Thank you. And yeah, we're super, super blessed and happy. And she, like, honestly, out of like all of the grandchildren, really, I know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of grandparents out there, I'm not trying to make it downplay on your own grandchildren, but honestly, my grandchildren are the best.
That's I think that's natural for every parent and
Yes.
grandparent.
Yes.
I think it's just natural. We just all think they're
We're
just
just
beautiful in
biased.
our
Yeah.
eyes. They're just so special to us. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. You know, it's
Yeah.
just how it is. So you're entitled to have that. And I'm sure it's no offense
Absolutely.
to anybody else.
No, no, and that's why I said that. No offense to anyone out there, but
Mhm.
honestly, like I am super just super proud and blessed to
Yeah.
have the grandchildren that we have. And even just really like thinking back even with both my daughters, but having really good pregnancies and for the most
Yeah.
part and deliveries and just it's been good. I'm just so happy and very grateful for that for sure. And then
Absolutely.
it was I came to your house after that.
Yep.
We
That's
got to,
right.
spend some time together again and visit, my our grandma
Yeah.
and
Sure did. Got to catch
some
up with her and
yeah, because she was moving. So at that time, it was like she was moving into a home. She sold her home that, we've pretty much grew
like
up
40
in.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. So
Yeah.
many people were moving this
Oh,
summer,
yeah.
literally around that July mark. As Shelley was
Hmm.
saying, our grandma had moved into a home. She had left her home of 40 years.
Yeah.
My in-laws also moved out of their home, and my
That's
mother-in-law had been
right.
in there for like 43 years, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Our parents
Yep.
moved
Yeah. Yeah.
as well, and my daughter also moved out of the house
Yeah.
um, to be
Yeah.
in the city for university. She wanted to try that experience, I guess,
For
for the
sure.
next 2 years before she goes off. Um, I don't know,
Yeah.
out of the country. So she's just like, yeah, I think I should try that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there was so much movement. I mean,
Yes.
there was another movement of my son moving down to the basement. That's not a big move, but it was just
But it's
like
a
another
move.
transition in the house of like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's so weird. Like so quiet up here because usually he's like loud.
Yes, he
So
is.
he's super loud. So yeah, it's just there's been so much movement
Hmm.
and emotion, high emotion, lots of
Yes.
emotions this summer. And
Hmm.
Shelley's also had lots of physical movement of like traveling and
Yeah. Yeah.
here
Like, cause
and there
after
and all over the
that,
place.
yeah, cause after that, we were home for only a week, like a week, and
Hmm.
then we had left for where Dwayne's from. So we went to the Maritimes and we spent 3 weeks there. And what a time, honestly. It was,
Yeah.
we hadn't been in 3 years because of, COVID and everything, right? And couldn't really
Yeah.
travel. And it
That's
was
right.
just so awesome to be back there and visiting Dwayne's parents, his brothers. And what
Aw.
was really special was the first week we got to have our oldest daughter and our two granddaughters to come with us. And that was like, I can't even explain because it was just so
Aw.
beautiful to watch them experience, new things. Like they had never
Of
been to the
course.
ocean before. And it was just, it was an awesome time. We really didn't want them to leave, but they had to go
Of
back.
course not.
They had to go back. So we ended
Mhm.
up having 2 weeks left, to visit more people and friends and family. And it's
Yes, like
never
your
enough
own
time.
time.
It really
Mm,
isn't, though.
it
Like,
never is.
it really isn't.
You were here for like almost a week, and I'm like, it's over.
I
It's not enough time.
know. I know.
You
We were
should have
just
stayed
talking about
longer.
that today. Actually, me and Dwayne had called because I'll just do a shout out. Today is Dana's birthday. So we called him today and we were
Aw,
just talking about that. Like we were saying,
nice.
like it was 7 weeks ago
That's
that we were
crazy.
there. And then we were talking about like how we were just at your place again last week. Like we've been
Yeah,
home a week already. Like
I
it's,
know. Like it's almost the solstice, like I'm
yes,
just like, or
I
the fall
know.
equinox, sorry. I'm already
Yeah,
still in summer mode.
I know.
But yeah, the fall equinox is coming up and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Where the time go? And
Right?
I think also because we haven't been doing our episodes and we have taken a
Yes.
break, that I also feel like I'm just off schedule, which
Yes.
I am a Capricorn. I am by the schedule and, I'm very
Mhm.
organized and planned.
Mhm.
And so this was doing our episodes and connecting has been,
Yeah,
it's part of my routine. And then to not have that even was just super weird. Now
it is.
it almost feels like, it feels like my clients also say to me that it's like they're missing 2 years of their life because of what we all went through.
Yes.
And I feel like that's literally what I feel now with summer. It's like I feel
Mhm.
like I don't know where those couple months went. It just is like a
They
blur.
went.
I don't even
Yeah.
know what happened.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah, I was in some time warp there or something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, it was
it was
s
interesting. That's like
yeah.
literally all I have to
And,
say.
like, to talk about that is, like, even with me coming last week, like, that
Yeah.
was another, like, fast week, but we did a lot together. Like we ended up going again to visit with our grandma and we went with our like to visit
Hmm.
our aunt
Yeah.
to, go over old things
Ah,
and that was
pictures.
so
That was so
like
awesome.
it
Reminiscing
was.
and looking at like all the pictures of our family members going
Yeah.
way back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was just
Like
so incredible. Our grandmother has not pulled out pictures
no
at family gatherings for years
years.
because our father would steal photos.
Yeah.
Our dad loved like he loved the past.
You
Our
did.
dad loved to live in the past.
Yeah.
He sat in the past. He reminisced in
Mhm.
the past. He,
Yeah,
I
he
think, got
did.
depressed over the past. You know what I mean? Like he
Yes.
was stuck there.
Mhm.
And every time family photos would come around, my dad would look at them and just he would start thinking
Yeah.
and I think he just wanted pieces of his past. And
Yeah.
so he just kind of snuck pictures here and there. And our grandmother had noticed, okay, wait a minute, pictures are starting to go missing.
Yeah.
And that was it. She put them away and like
Yeah.
we have never seen them. So our auntie had us over and our
Mhm.
grandmother said that we could go through all of them and pick what we wanted and that sort of stuff. So it was just so cool
Yes.
to just finally see all the pictures and,
Well, and it was so neat to see, like, what he looked like, what our dad looked like when
yeah,
he was a baby. Not that we've seen pictures here and there,
yeah,
but to really, like, see in depth of
yeah,
what he was like and how he was like, you can sort of
hmm,
just see it in the pictures, and it was just like, it
of
was
course.
very cool to see, and, of course,
Yeah.
his siblings and stuff like that, and just thinking about what you just said about maybe, why he was so stuck in the past is that I feel because he really was not that he was isolated, but in a way he, he
He
did have to
was.
go to the school for the deaf every day, like
Hmm.
from, Sunday night to Friday. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of that was so that he could feel connected to the family as well. And I think he
Oh, for
just
sure.
felt like I need to have these photos, which is funny because
Hmm.
after we went through all the boxes, we did
Hmm.
find an album, and I went, "Hey," I'm like, "That's Dad's writing. He did
Yeah,
steal some photos. We found this
literally.
album that had old photos in it." And it was just
He
like,
had all his pictures and he wrote in the whole album. It was that was his. So,
yeah.
oh,
So
there was proof. So we're not lying. We're not just making it up to be mean. It's true. He did
yeah.
take them. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So
it was so great to see our dad's childhood and see his pictures of him with his family and that sort of thing.
mhm.
And I think there's a lot of healing that needed to happen for
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and some of the stuff that they had been through as a family. And
Mhm.
yeah, it was such an amazing opportunity.
It
Shelley and
was.
I loved it.
Oh yeah.
And I also had
I
a
would do it over
calling.
and over. It would be awesome to do
Oh,
it again. I would just
I
love
know.
doing
My
that.
gosh, don't turn into dad. Don't sit there and look at old pictures every
Right?
day.
Well,
I'm busy.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I had a calling throughout the summer to take our grandmother to the cemetery where our dad is buried, and
Yes.
the rest of our dad's side of the family, some of the members are there as well. And so I really wanted to take her over summer, but man, we had a really hot summer. And I just thought, and this cemetery is out of town in a little
Yeah.
tiny town in the middle of nowhere. And I just thought, oh, it's like really hot. I think I'll just wait for better weather. And then I was like, oh, Shelly's coming. Perfect opportunity. Shelly hadn't been out there either in a
Yeah.
while. And
Yeah.
so
Actually,
we
we
kind
figured
of
it out 8 years.
8 years. So been a long time.
Mhm.
So we went out there and surprised her. And it was just amazing that day. It was, of course, Shelly's videotaping because she's like, I love cemeteries.
Well, I'm
Totally.
sorry. It's our dad. That's where our
I
dad
know.
is. So I have
Totally.
to
It
take a
was just such a
video.
Shelly thing. Oh my gosh. What was it that grandma said? Um,
As
oh,
you
it was
said.
when I had picked her up and Shelly was waiting in the car and I grabbed our grandma from the door from the home and was
Mhm.
walking her to the car. And the lady at the home said, oh, have a good day today. And I said, oh, we will. And then the door closed and I said, hanging out at a cemetery. I don't know. And then our grandma's like, oh, that's not so fun. And I was thinking, okay, that's exactly where Shelly gets it from. It's our grandma. So yeah, she
Yeah.
was super excited. And
Mhm.
so we hung out there and there was so much healing that happened and it was just so beautiful. And we had so many signs.
We
We
did.
had like how many yellow butterflies?
Oh,
Our dad gives us yellow butterflies.
yeah.
If we have never shared that in any other episode.
Right.
We had so
I think
many.
I feel like there was like 3 or 4 for sure. Like there
Yeah,
were and
for sure.
it was crazy, and like they would just come out of obviously nowhere, and
Nowhere.
because it was windy
It
that
was so
day.
windy that day.
It was
Windy.
it
Like
was windy.
the wind
Holy
was
cow.
cleansing us, literally. Like,
Yeah, it was so windy, and
and then
it
we
was like
surprised our grandma with a picnic lunch at the
mhm.
cemetery.
Yeah.
So we sat down, and just at that time, Shelley had gone onto her phone and had noticed that the Queen had passed
Yeah.
that day.
Mhm.
And as we were sitting there having our lunch with our grandma, she just started to reminisce about the past and how she had seen the Queen
Yes.
before she was the Queen. She had
That's
come
right.
to Saskatoon actually with her father, so King George, and um, yeah,
Yeah.
she was just young. So
Mhm.
it was just, it was so cool to hear her stories. And then as we were talking about stories and our grandmother brings up her mother, so
Yeah.
our Baba,
Our
and
Baba,
all of a
yeah.
sudden then this ladybug just appears out of nowhere and lands on Shelly and just like would not leave, just hung
Yeah.
around and was like crawling around her neck, like
It wouldn't go. It
would
would
not
not
leave
go.
until we were done.
Yep.
Literally, it was like, okay, we're
Mhm.
all like chilly by that point because we was like
Yeah.
so cold.
The clouds were coming in a little and it was getting a
Yeah,
little cooler and we're like, I think it's time to get up and go. And like we
yeah,
just got up
yeah,
and we were just about to put the like blanket together and all of a sudden I went, "Hey,
yeah, literally just like
hey."
vanished.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
such a great day. Literally, that was like the best day.
it
Then
was.
I think I discovered that I might have allergies the day after that because as we were out in the middle of nowhere at the cemetery in the wild wind, everybody's harvesting.
Yeah.
And of course there's gravel roads everywhere. And
Yeah.
so the next day I went into work for a couple of clients and I was just like, what's wrong with
Mhm.
me? So
Yeah.
that part wasn't fun, but other than that, it was
Yeah.
wonderful, and we got to spend a lot of time together, do a lot of things
Yeah.
together. So we gave each other
And
healing.
we
We did
did, but
some
we
readings for
also did,
people.
yeah, I was just gonna say we did another Empath Sisters event,
Yeah,
and it was on the Saturday.
that's right.
And
We did
it,
private readings this time.
we did private, yes.
Yes.
And you
So
know
last
what?
time we did like a group healing,
Yeah,
and then we did a group reading. We had
that's
about
right.
15 participants, I want to
I
say,
think
on our
so. It was
anniversary
something
event.
like that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
So this and that time we had kind of we're getting requests. People were wanting kind of private
Yeah.
readings, not to
Hmm.
be, shared amongst the group. So I said,
Right.
okay, this time let's offer private readings. And
Hmm.
oh my gosh, it was
Yeah,
so awesome.
it was. Yeah. We were booked that whole day and it
Yeah.
was, and it was all like that time again, like what we were saying, like it felt healing for people
Yeah.
and just wanting to know things. And it seemed like there was a theme going that day. Like it just
Always a
seemed like,
theme of the day. I find that
yeah,
when I read through the day, there's like a
yeah,
theme. And it's
yeah.
like, okay, everyone's shifting, everyone's going through
Hmm.
this. Like, so it also just goes to show you how we are all connected and we feel things and we're going through almost the same thing, but in our own way and on our own journey.
Yes.
And it was
Yeah.
just like, oh my gosh. And this is also why in group readings, if any of you ever attend a group reading, is that even if you don't get, say, direct messages or anything like that, when you're sitting there, all the messages that do come through are messages for you as well. Spirit works through that way, like through people to
Yeah.
deliver messages. So if it's not directly for you, everything that you will hear, I can almost guarantee that it will be something you needed to hear as well. I
That's
find that
right.
even in my circle support that I offer, um, which is for anybody that doesn't know. I do offer circle support in person. I
Hmm.
try to have them on virtually as well,
Virtual.
so we can
Yeah.
connect all over the place. And Shelly does join us when she's able to, so that's
Yeah.
always so fun.
Hmm.
And so we get to kind of talk about everything and anything.
Yeah.
And so I find even with that, whoever's attending and whatever comes up, it's like everyone's like, oh my gosh, I was feeling that,
Hmm.
this, and I was feeling that, and this was
Yep.
happening this week. And it just seems, oh, I really needed to hear that. And it just makes them feel like they're not alone.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like such a beautiful thing. I just
It
love it so
is.
much. Seriously.
Absolutely. And I love that you do that for people because it does make, them feel like they're not alone, right? And yeah,
Absolutely.
I love when you do that, especially the virtual ones, just because then I can try to be on them as well. But
Hmm.
um, yeah, it's great that you do that because I feel like as a collective, we all need to support each other right now. So,
Absolutely. We need to come
mhm,
together. It's what it's all
mhm.
about.
Yeah,
To have
yeah.
that realization that we are all connected and
Yeah,
we should just be there for each other with
yeah.
love and support. And
Mhm,
I always just try to remind people that, you know what, we're all souls
mhm.
having a human experience. So
Yeah,
therefore, we should have compassion for each other because
yeah.
we're all going through the same thing. But like I
Mhm.
said, on our own journey and in our own way.
That's
But
right.
that doesn't mean that we can't support each other.
Yeah.
Should have more compassion for each other. So it's all about
Mhm.
coming together, be your authentic self. So
Yeah.
anytime that you would like to join us,
Mhm.
just check out my website, bevlazar.ca. It's usually under my events and workshops, and you can join us. There's a link that you just click and you can join,
Yep.
and you'll get the invite, and you can join us. And if Shelly gets to be on there, that's great too. I know for
Mhm.
us as the Empath Sisters, we will be doing some things online as well, offering some different things coming up.
Yes.
So, which
Yeah.
is super
Yeah.
exciting. So we'll let you all know. So just stay tuned
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. For
He's
sure.
like, I
And
want to like combust out of my body right now because I'm just like freaking out because it's exciting.
it
So
is. And yeah,
yeah.
I agree. And I really am looking forward to, having more stuff happening with us. And
Mhm.
um like we've already kind of discussed it. We haven't really talked it over with our other sibling yet, but
Yeah,
we
that's
plan to
right.
have our brother come on. And
Hmm.
so you get to kind of like know him and
Yeah.
his
And
voice.
hear his voice.
Yeah.
He's got such a deep voice and he
Yeah.
sounds like a commentator. Like he's
Yeah.
just like, well, welcome back, like he's just got that voice. It's awesome. You guys will
Yeah.
just love him and you'll just get to see
Mhm.
how we all interact together and who
Yeah.
knows what will come up
Yeah.
when
I
we
was going to
all get
say, because
together.
to be honest, like, I really don't know if we're going to have a topic. I think we're just going to be like,
Yeah.
have Keith on and we'll just
Just
go from there.
we're just gonna wing it. You're just
Yeah,
gonna get what you get.
that's
So
right. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be so
So,
great. Who knows? We might even have oh ghost
well,
stories. We might have crying stories. I don't know. I have no idea what is going to come out, but it's
no.
going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You'll just get to kind of see how we connect as siblings. So
Hmm.
that is going to be
Yeah.
great. And we'll have some other guests on, and we have
Yep.
other things planned.
We
And
do. Hmm.
hopefully, also for Shelly and I, as the Empath Sisters, hoping to maybe also have some kind of an event in Alberta,
Hmm.
just to kind of allow an opportunity for some people in the area where Shelly lives. That would be
Yeah.
so fun too. I'm sure they would like that as well. So,
Yeah. Hmm.
but yeah, all good things to
Yeah.
come. So
So yeah.
yeah, it's just been a crazy summer. There's been lots of change, lots of movement, lots of emotion, lots of healing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think I only worked like 5 days in August, which is like,
That's not
that's very low
that's
for
very
me.
rare for
Very, very rare.
that.
Like, I don't even remember a time that it was ever I worked 5 days in a month.
Yeah.
That was probably when I was still home, like when my kids were little,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it seemed like for me, I had a bunch of holidays planned this summer. But every time I wanted to go on a holiday, it just seemed like the universe was not allowing me to go anywhere. I
Hmm.
was literally forced to stay home. And
Yeah.
I'm talking like presenting metaphysical ascension symptoms, but like totally fine, but then would come up and come up and come up and be like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh, to the point where I could be in bed, I shouldn't leave the house.
Yeah.
And I would plan to do work and then boom, I would get these symptoms. And then it'd be like, oh, you're going on a holiday. I was even scared to even say the word holiday. And even my clients would be like, are you going on like a holiday? And with the quotes, and it's
Yeah.
like, I'm, I'm
Vacation.
going to, I'm going to try. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Seems every
Yeah.
time I say that word, it was like, no. So literally I went nowhere.
Hmm.
And until the September long weekend, I was
Yeah.
blessed with 2 days to get out of the city. So that
Hmm.
was wonderful. It was so needed. So I'm looking forward to hopefully having a couple more here and there, the
Yeah.
little getaways. But yeah, it's been really interesting. So I
Yeah.
just it felt like Shelly had to be out there. She was able to do the like go out and do the
Do the
traveling and
things.
do the things, be around the people, all the things. And for me, it was like, no, you can't go out in public. You don't go anywhere. So I was like, oh, fine.
But you
But
know what though? I feel like
it's
that
good.
was sort of your theme this year. If you think back, like look at how, like
Yeah,
even when we went to Jasper, when you came home, when
totally.
like you were going through all these things, I feel like like what we talked about before, and I'm pretty sure we talked about this on an episode, was that it was this year for you to slow down, take step back, do a lot of
Absolutely. It really slowed down this summer, which I was like, finally a summer.
yeah.
But I do know that even though I had summer plans,
Hmm.
that sometimes, I'm sure all of you know this, and Shelley, I'm sure you can agree with this, is that when you have holidays and you go on holidays, it's not really a holiday.
No.
And then when you come home, you're tired, and then you need a
Yeah.
holiday from your holiday,
Yeah.
which I didn't have time to have a holiday from my holiday. So therefore they're like, this
Nope.
holiday you planned is your stay home holiday.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. So,
Yeah.
but it was good. It was what I needed. And you know what?
Mhm.
Collectively, it was feeling really weird. This summer it had a very strange vibe in the
Yeah.
collective. It just felt weird, even though the last 2 summers I felt were weird summers. Like we had
Yeah.
never experienced summers like that, where one,
Right.
we weren't allowed to go anywhere. Then the second one, everyone was like, let's get out of here,
Yeah.
because we were allowed.
Yeah.
And then this year, it just felt like, oh my gosh, it just had this weird feeling. It didn't
Yeah.
feel like summer.
No,
Strange.
and it's funny because it to me it felt like in between. It felt like, some people were kind of nervous, about maybe going
Yeah.
out again, but at the same time people were itching to go, but at the same time didn't care if they
Yeah.
did, or
Totally.
stayed
It was
home
just
like it.
all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why it felt
So
weird. Just had this weird vibe. And I think
where
everybody was going through stuff too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think everybody just kind of felt like, where we at, right? Like, where are we
Yeah.
at? And in ourselves, because like even
Hmm.
for myself, like I traveled a lot this whole summer.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like I needed to get out because I hadn't traveled, like that in a long time. And
Yeah.
so it was nice to get out. But you're
Hmm.
right. Like it was a very different vibe. Like it really was,
Yeah.
even though, like, don't get me wrong, the vacation that I took and went to see with my daughter and all that kind of stuff, it was wonderful. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but it was not
Absolutely.
the same vibe, as normal,
Yeah.
it just seemed there was a lot
It
of,
felt different.
yeah.
Yeah.
and
Totally.
and not just with myself, like even with the people that I love, that
Hmm.
are going through
Absolutely.
things, right? And so it's just, yeah, it
I
was
think
definitely different.
I feel very strongly everybody is going through something,
Hmm.
changes, or I've been saying this the last couple of days, is that if it felt very much like pre-pandemic was, we're in preparation. People could kind of feel something in the
Yeah.
air.
Hmm.
And then the eye of the storm came,
Yeah.
and we all went through it. And now I feel like 2021, I definitely got a huge eye opener of the aftermath of it. It was just
Yeah.
like, whoa. And I
Yeah.
knew that so many people awoke in
Yeah.
2020.
Hmm.
And then 2021, still people were like coming out of that, being awakened and being like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what is going on? What happened? Like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh. And I think I'm awakening. And they just started, it was
Yes.
like layers were coming off. And
Yeah.
lots of like hardship.
Hmm.
And then I felt a huge shift at the beginning of 2022, but we're still in the aftermath. And I still feel like now we're at
Yeah.
another place of people waking up,
Yeah. Because I was
of
just
like,
gonna say,
like
because
coming out of hibernation. You know what I mean?
yep.
Like, so it's like
Hmm.
another chunk of people are awakening again. And
Yep.
they're just, so we have these people that already went through the big awaken, then we have the second awaken and
Yeah.
aftermath, and now we have the next one.
Another
And
one.
so
Yeah.
it's like waves of it, right?
Hmm.
And so it's just like, okay. And so this is why I feel like the collective vibe has been really strange, because I feel like everybody's kind of all over the place.
Hmm.
Everybody is somewhere, but we're all
Yeah.
feeling it,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
No, I agree.
stuff. So I don't know if our listeners feel the same way or what, or wherever you're
Yeah.
listening to this, if you
Hmm.
feel that there. But that's what I've been feeling for sure.
Yeah.
It's been
No,
strange.
I agree because even lately, even the last couple months when I have been at work, I've
Yeah.
I've had lots of people say the same thing that they have,
Yeah.
not that they haven't awoke before, but it feels like they are going through the awakening process again. Like they just
Yeah.
keep finding new, I guess, like you said, layers coming off or whatever it
Yes.
is. And they're just like, what is this? Or, like,
Totally.
why am I going through this? And, you know, um, yeah. And
That's part of the awakening.
exactly.
Is unlayering. We are unconditioning ourselves.
Right.
You are coming back to yourself. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
know what you're going through, what this is all about, I'm here to tell you, you are unconditioning. You are letting
Yeah.
go of those layers. You came here when you
Mm-hmm.
were born and you remembered your purpose and why you were here and all of
Mm-hmm.
those things, and you were totally in the feel state, just so innocent and free because you know that you're not trapped by your vessel.
Yeah.
And that's why kids are just like vibrating and they just do everything because
Mm-hmm.
they get it. And then all of a sudden we start going to school and we start getting conditioned, by
Yep.
society,
Yep.
going to school, learning, parents, all the
Mm-hmm.
things. And then boom, something happens. And then all of a sudden we just start to go, wait a second. It's almost like
Yeah.
you go in this trance, right? You just be this
Yeah.
human. And
Yeah.
then, you
Well,
get
it's
these
like
glimpses
everyday
of
thing, right?
intuition. Oh,
Yeah.
totally. And you get
Routine.
those glimpses of intuition,
Mm-hmm.
or you become parents, your intuition goes stronger and you start feeling connected. And then boom, an awakening, something happens, you have this big shift, and it's like the blinders come off. And all of a sudden you're like, well, wait a minute, I don't like doing this anymore. And I loved that. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe I don't want to eat that food anymore. Well, that's strange that you're like, it's
Yeah.
just, you just start to notice that there's some changes
Absolutely.
from before how it used to always be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of that awakening. And then you just start to uncondition. And that's how you start to learn more about yourself
Yeah.
and what is coming up. And it's like, oh, and you're
Mm-hmm.
starting to learn to connect back with yourself, your true self.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
I feel we are at. We're in this another wave of awakening people.
Well, and maybe this is a little off too, but
Mhm,
honestly, like it makes me think of today, like
mhm,
the queen was laid to rest today. And
mhm.
I got up this morning and like really early to watch
Yeah,
it. And it was very beautiful. It was the most magnificent thing I had ever seen. Honestly, it was huge. But that feeling again, we are in another change. This is a new era we're going to come
absolutely.
in, right? We are now having a king.
Yeah,
And most of us have not had that. I mean, of course, the queen has, had the reign for 70 years.
been
So,
a long time.
yeah. And
Mhm.
even that, I feel that even as a collective, people are starting to wonder, like, okay, where are we going to be with this now in our lives, right?
Totally.
Because
It's
everything's
change.
going to change. And
That's that uncertainty.
yeah.
And that's where people can, when there's uncertainty of the unknown, then we have all those feelings of like
Hmm.
fear or
Yeah.
like questioning. And it's like,
Yeah.
unsettlement feelings.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, we don't know what it's going to be, but
No.
let's hopefully not go there of have any expectation and
Right.
attached to it. It's just
Yes.
like, it's going to be what it's going to be, you guys. It's going to
Hmm.
unfold exactly how it's supposed to unfold.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if that
I
helps or not, but
find
maybe
it,
try not to stress about it.
yeah, then that's what I was going to say was that I, I find it exciting personally
Hmm. Hmm.
myself. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I personally think it's exciting. I know that there is a little bit of uncertainty, but at the same time, it's exciting because it's like, wow, we're going into something new, something different,
Hmm.
and how it's going to be, well, we don't know, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think I don't know, it's just cool. I
Well, that's how I hope people can look at um, the pandemic. Instead
Mm.
of it being negative, can we just look
Mhm.
at the positive about it and go, wow, because we all went through something so crazy
Big. Yeah.
that and
Mhm.
big that we have none of us have ever experienced
That's right.
worldwide.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just go, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
what good could come of this?
Yeah.
It's like let's try to find the positives in that to come,
Well, yeah, because
together. Like we all
yeah.
went through it together, so let's get through it together.
Mhm.
But that's where we need to like come together. We need to
Yeah.
find that way to come together and realize that we are all connected. We all went through the same thing.
Mhm.
And so let's move forward. And that's the same thing now with the king.
Right.
Worldwide, it can be like such an interesting thing. So,
Yes.
yeah, this whole year is all about lots of change.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
just like another wave, right? Just this is what we're
Absolutely.
going to be doing is just riding the waves.
Yeah.
And I think it just, if you can look at it with a little bit of positivity of like flipping it and being like, what positive can come from this, or
Yeah.
yay, or be excited about it, putting that energy out as opposed to the
Mhm.
energy of fear.
Fear.
Like, let's put the good vibes out there and,
Yeah.
let's hope that that's what we get is
Yeah.
some really stuff.
Because to be honest, with this whole thing with the king, I am feeling people being very fear-based or like
Yeah.
uncertainty, right? And I get it. I get where like where they're coming from because
Hmm.
like there's a lot of things, but I mean it's media too, right? With Charles and what have you. But at
Hmm.
the same time, it's like the guy hasn't even had a chance yet. He just got the job. So
Yeah.
let's be excited about it. And let's
Absolutely.
just be like, this is because it's not going to change. He is the king. There's
Yeah.
nothing we can do about it. So why can't
No.
we just be excited about it?
Yeah. And also have some compassion. He's just
Yeah,
lost his mother.
that's right. Mhm.
Like we have to remember he's still
Human
a
being.
human being who's
Yeah.
having an experience. And
Yeah.
yes, there's a lot of eyes on him and a lot of pressure and all that. And his mom went
Yes.
through the same thing.
That's right.
But well, I mean, at a very young age, and also being a
Very.
woman at that time that she became
That's
queen,
right. Yeah.
is just that, like, yeah, we also have to remember there's that human side of him. And so, yeah, I don't know what will come,
No,
but he's also going to be going through his own grieving process and
that's
all of
right.
that stuff on top of that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just let it go and
Yeah.
just let it be what it's going to be. And we
Yeah.
are moving into big change, which is great, I
Yeah.
think.
I do too.
I'm,
But to be like, I'm telling you, like, I honestly didn't know if I would wake up at 3 in the morning to watch the
yeah.
farewell, but I did, and I'm so glad I did because it was just, I really don't know how have words. It was just really beautiful. They did a very good job.
Mm,
Um,
nice.
it really was.
That's
And
good.
to be honest, I was kind of glad. Don't hate me out there, but honestly, I was kind of glad that there wasn't a lot of celebrities there. Thank you. Sorry. The
Yeah.
queen wasn't about celebrity, right?
No.
And she handpicked people that she wanted to be there,
Yeah.
and I'm glad.
Yeah.
I
Me
thought it was
too.
great. It was beautiful. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really do. So for
And
those that
therefore,
really
being
wanted
the
to see them,
queen,
sorry.
she should have been able to pick who she wanted to be there.
Absolutely.
That's,
And she got to pick
you're
everything.
still a
She
human.
she
Of
she picked everything to the song, to who was doing it, to like
course.
all the stuff. And it really was beautiful. And not only that, she even brought in like Canadian presence there. She got to have the RCMP, four of them on the horses that got to bring the procession out. So it
Nice.
was just beautiful to see that, and just it was just nice. It
Yeah.
really was. To
Well
me,
done.
it was really well done. What they have done, it was right to the like,
Of
yeah,
course, it would be. It'll
yeah,
be planned to the T. It's just how it is.
yeah, exactly, yeah, and it was really really nice to, and like just to
Yeah, of
have all her children, like all four children were
course.
walking behind her, and then Charles's kids behind him. And yeah, like it was very beautiful. And the people,
Oh,
Wow.
well, there's just so many.
Honestly, I wish I was there. It would have been so
Yeah.
amazing just to be there, but
Yeah.
wow, like
It's a lot of
wow,
energy.
lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it
That's
was really
awesome. Well,
cool.
thanks for
Yeah.
the share on that
Yeah.
one.
So, yeah. I could have went 10. I could keep going, but it was just like, wow.
She's
But I'm into
amazed.
that.
Yeah, we're gonna bring her back, reel her in.
Yeah, gotta come back here.
Yeah,
Anyway,
come
yeah.
back. But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
so
it's
like Bev said, we like with the collective and how it has been, very different vibe this year and things like that, but
mhm.
I'm pretty feeling a little bit more excited and positive that it's going to change, and I feel
Yeah.
we're going to be coming into another,
Well, you know what? Why put out the bad vibes? There's gonna
right?
be change, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what,
Yep.
guaranteed.
Yep.
And that's not attached to it. It's gonna be what
That's
it's gonna
right.
be, honestly.
Yep. Yep.
Not a single person here can change any of that. So
Nope.
let's
So yeah.
just see what happens. And let's just see what happens together,
Yeah.
Let's just be
Mm-hmm.
there for each other.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
want to just add something here.
What's that?
Couple things. I don't want to
Okay.
keep like forgetting because
Yeah.
you know how we can squirrel away
Yeah.
so easily. I just wanted to do a quick shout out as well that Shelly and I had the opportunity to be guests on another podcast.
That's right.
So that was so fun. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes, I
And
totally forgot.
Shelly
I'm
and
so
I totally
sorry.
talked about some stories. I shared some stories of some
Yes.
crazy things that I have been through.
Yes.
So just want to do a shout out to them. They're two sisters like Shelly and I,
Yes.
and they are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We love them. They're
We
like
do.
sisters to us, and we're like
Yep.
sisters to them. Um, we actually inspired them
To do their
to do their
own.
podcast and
Yeah.
connect with each other. And it's just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And their names are Brittany and Jessica,
Yep.
and their handle is Basic Banter for Witches.
Yep. Yeah. It's
It's
awesome.
awesome.
It really
It
is.
is so
I've been
great.
addicted. I've been listening to every well, I shouldn't say every episode. I need to catch up. I think that I've got two more to
Yeah,
listen to.
I have to catch
But
up too.
yeah, they are hilarious.
Yes.
They are so
Super real.
relatable. Yeah, exactly. They're so relatable.
Yeah.
They tell it like it is. If you're into that and you want
Yeah.
to listen more about spiritual stuff too, and it's not just for witches, like it's spiritual based.
All kinds of stuff. They
It's
kind of go
awesome.
into everything, and they
Mhm.
are just like, I'm
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
just like right in there,
Yeah.
like cup of
Yeah.
coffee, watching them. It's like watching a TV show. It's just awesome. They are so great. And
Absolutely.
it was such an amazing honor. And we
It
had
was.
so much fun. I don't even know how long our episode was, but
I
I think
believe it
probably
was
quite
over
long.
an hour and a little bit, I think. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
We really tried to stay on time, but it was like so hard. But
how do you do that with four
yeah,
people?
no, you can't. And we have so like, we just love talking, all of us. And
Yeah.
so they had asked us a bunch of questions too that we got to
Mhm.
answer. And like, they just go diving in, like they
Yep.
just no hold bars, they just
Mhm.
ask you the questions. So if
Yeah.
you want to hear what we talked about and the things that they asked us, um, are a lot of things we have not said on our own
Yeah.
podcast.
That's right.
So check them out. They're so fun. They're on YouTube and of course podcast platforms. But I'm telling you, if you can watch them on YouTube, it's the best. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love the YouTube ones. I prefer watching as opposed to listening. I know
Yeah.
many of you out there love just listening because it's
Yeah.
easier. And I totally get that. If you ever get the opportunity to watch Shelly and I or Jess and
Brittany and Jess.
Brittany on
Yeah.
theirs, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
seriously, it's
Yeah.
like amazing. So we
Yeah.
had that also happen. So I just wanted
Yes.
to share that. That was super fun.
Again,
The
that's
other, oh,
basic banter for witches.
yeah, so
Just
great. I
yeah.
love their handle too.
I know.
So
It's
great.
awesome. Yeah.
So great. And the other thing I wanted to mention before we finish up here is that I've been super excited and super called to, of course, teach, which is like my passion. And I just wanted to throw it out there that coming up pretty soon in the next month or two, there will be a lot more offerings online. So if you are looking to learn about your gifts or anything like that, or you're looking for a mentor, I will be offering them virtually coming up soon. So check that out if you'd like, if you're interested.
Mhm.
So, and it's going to be fun. And Shelly might even be joining one of those with us, which will
Yes.
be so fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
so if you want to maybe be in class with Shelly, maybe you'll
You
want to
might not
join.
want to, don't you?
Oh my gosh, they'd love it, Shelly. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh, as long
yeah.
as we could keep you on track, they'll love it. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe it's better if I just do it on my own. I
Oh
don't know.
gosh. Nah, let's push you out of your comfort
Yeah.
zone. Let's just put
But yes,
everybody together. But
I'm
yeah,
excited for that.
there's
Yeah.
so many good things coming up, you guys. It's
Mhm.
awesome. And we've just had a wonderful wild ride summer.
Yes.
And we are just so happy to be back
Oh,
and
yes,
connecting with
I
all
am.
of you. And we just look forward to sharing more and more with all of you. So
Yes.
yeah, we
Yeah.
appreciate you guys so much for hanging in
Being
there, waiting
patient.
for us.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just gonna
literally.
say. Yeah, I
On the
agree.
same
Thank
page.
you so much for being patient
Yeah,
and, really we really needed the break.
yeah, we did.
It's
Everybody needs a
been a
break.
long ride. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
we're so
So,
grateful to be back.
yeah.
We have some really good topics coming up, and we'll have
Yep.
some new guests as well. And
Yep.
probably we'll even maybe have the basic banter for witches on here as well.
Yeah, we
So
will. I
we will
can't
be.
wait. Yeah, we will
I'm not
be.
gonna lie, we will be for sure.
Yeah.
So stay
Yeah.
tuned for that as well. So we
Yeah.
appreciate
So,
you all. Thank you
yeah.
so much for
Thank you
tuning in.
so much. Yes, thank you so much for tuning in to the Empath Sisters again. We
Yes.
really appreciate you. And remember, you can find us on YouTube as well,
Yeah.
Empath Sisters. You can find us on Instagram as well as underscore Empath Sisters,
Yeah.
or you can listen to us on podcasts wherever
You
you listen to them,
can.
Empath Sisters.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Empath Sisters today. And
Yes.
we are sending you so much love and light and gratitude to wherever this may find you.
Yes. Take care, everybody.
Take
Bye
care,
bye.
everyone.